Hey, happy Mercury transit. Got a question here. Um, what is prana? Where does it come from? How do you harvest it? Um, can you just talk more about that? In technology belief, I define the prana economy. It is the underlying transactions that happen um, underneath the words. Beneath the reasoning is a prana economy. Uh, a child rebelling against his parent, each of them is giving words to each other. Because I said so, or you're not fair, or because I'm your parent. These are words mean nothing. There's a prana economy happening underneath, a challenging of energy. The reason why it's a challenge is because we've all agreed in reality that there can be only one, that reality itself can be only one. We have, except for insane people, everyone else has agreed that this is the game we're playing, that there can be only one. There can be only one cosmology. There can be only one government. There could be only one answer. There could be only one medicine. It's a synthesis of the New World Order. It's the synthesis of the Tower of Babel. The antithesis of that is prana. The antithesis of that is this belief goo, this plasma that's all around us. It's found in different places. It's found in dogs. Right now, my dog's feet are tapping. He's drinking water right now. I hear that prana in the sound of his tongue lapping water up right now. It's in flowers. It's on your altar. It's inside of rocks people send you, or medicine bags. It's inside of magnets that you get inside of books that you weren't expecting. It's a buildup of Parthenia. Parthenia is a living virginity. It's a kind of a essence that you build up over time. So where you get prana is you make it, you charge it, you build up energy over time into it. If you write in the same diary, you're building prana in that book. That book becomes vital to you, but it's still just paper. But you know it's more than that. It's got prana inside it. That's the prana economy underneath. And it's not the words. Don't get lost. Don't say, well, it's because of what you wrote. No. It's charged in everything. Someone sent me this medicine bag, and I'm saying someone because I want to keep it, keep the prana, and so I can't call out who did it. But there's energy inside of this. The making of this was energy. The sending of it, and more importantly, the massive shock and surprise I felt in me when I first saw it. We imbue things with prana. We behold things with prana. It's the time and attention you spend with something that gives it prana. On a cold winter night, you'll put your fingers around a warm cup of tea. You're using that heat to create that prana. You're drinking that prana that you're putting back into it. Prana is everything that they tell you doesn't exist, but does. It's the ether underneath. You don't have to go outside and find it. You build it. When you gift prana, it's sort of like it comes with a double bounce on a trampoline. The, this was a gift. It was actually an exchange, but there was a gift in it, and it it causes prana to increase. How the hell does that work, you might ask? Why does a gift have more prana in it than if I go out and I buy something from the store? Why does the pen of someone famous, if someone famous was to give you a pen, you would walk home with that pen, understanding that it had prana attached to it. If you could verify it, you could sell it on eBay. You could literally put a price tag on that prana. So how does that work if it doesn't exist? How does the world work if it's really truly materialistic? If everything's a freaking ball bearing, if everything's a particle? It, the reason why they've been lying to you about special relativity is so you won't believe in prana. And if you don't believe in prana, then whatever you do believe in becomes something that you don't even think is real. You don't think that your own beliefs are real, that they have any kind of influence or harvest on the world. But it's literally everything. Everything about you is belief. There's a reason why we're not born in lobster cages, why we're not born with chains on our neck that we can see, that physically keep us in a space. No one wants you in a cage. People want you, they want your belief. That's the golden commodity of all this. That's what forms the globalism. That's what forms the Tower of Babel. It's the amalgamation of belief. It's taking everyone's belief and tuning it with just one simple idea. There can be only one. Once you do that, the Tower of Babel forms itself. Babylon forms itself. That's how important prana is. So if you want to create prana in your house, dust. Yeah. And the irony is that I'm saying this. And if my mom was to ever see this video, she would be very, very disturbed that I was telling all of you about how important it is to clean, to. But she taught me this, and I, I really need to practice it better. But dust, what happens is you dust your mantle, and you walk by 2 days later, and you get this bump, you get this hit. Why? Because you were treating your mantle as if it was worthy of being dusted, because someone is going to see it who is worthy of that energy. That's the Parthenia building into something. That's why a gift has so much power, because someone is thinking of you. They are putting their prana, their directed prana, into a tangible widget, something that can hold that prana. You have to have a holder. Prana has to have something to hold, to stick to, like a glue. It has to have that. Otherwise, we are not, it's not that it won't work. It's that we as visualizational creatures really like to have something tangible in 3D space. It's a placeholder, not only in our mind palace, but in physical space. Somewhere around here are my car keys, for example. It's really helpful that I can see those. It's really helpful that they have a tangible spot. So we need a vessel to hold our prana. If not, we don't even know we have prana. It's really important that we have something like that to hold it. Some items carry prana longer than others. This pen, depending on the size, how popular the famous person was that had the pen, that's definitely going to be a primal factor in the charge of this. But the material that it's made in is actually just as important. So when I say just as, I don't know if it's just as. One of you is going to do the math on this. but it's also important. Certain things hold prana longer. Certain things transmit prana. Silver holds prana a long time. So does gold. Copper holds prana a long time. I'm under the impression what we call electricity right now is prana. I'm under the impression that's why certain metals conduct. I could be wrong, but that would make it all the same thing. That would make all of the energy inside our body the same as what's out there. That would make the electric universe living reality. And the only way an electric universe can exist is in a giant puddle of ether. And the only way it can be electric is if there was a flat stationary ground. Prana comes in truth too. Prana comes in experience. Prana comes in finding the right note. If you are playing music and you hit that chord just right, that creates prana. So prana is sound, it's light, it's matter, but all three of those things are being broadcast through one central source: your belief. I believe in this gift to James. I believe in it. And it's sent across the country, exchanged for a book, and there's a tangible exchange of energy broadcast through material that we have in our world. When you prune, when you dust, when you nurture, what you're really doing is charging it, imbuing it with your own belief in prana. If you're making your child a sandwich, you are opening two pieces of bread. Why? Because bread is an excellent way of holding prana. And you are pouring your nourishment into that bread and smearing it with peanut butter and wrapping it in saran wrap and putting it in a bag and sending that off to school. That's a prana. So where you get prana, it should become self-evident. Surround yourself with people that love you and create your own prana for them. That's all you have to do. You will actually feel that prana yourself. I'm going to ruin some of my prana because I'm going to tell you guys. See, when you give credit to yourself, when you list yourself as the owner of something, the prana changes a little bit. I'm not saying that everything has to be anonymous. That's actually not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it changes a little bit. For example, I gave someone money the other day, and it if I wouldn't have told you, it would be even more valuable. The reason why it would be even more valuable is because I only did that for myself and that person. It becomes more of a gift. Do you understand what I'm saying? It becomes more of something that I feel gratitude, or that I'm actually beholding gratitude for. It's charged up. But if I'm walking around telling you all about it, hey, I did something nice and generous. It's not even that that's wrong. It's just that it's going to change the transaction. It's going to change the prana economy of that transaction a little bit. And I'm not even going to tell you how, because it's going to depend on who you're talking to, how it deals with it. These are all things that you can discover, that you will see. You'll know it because you'll take that pen home. And the next day it won't quite feel the same. Or maybe it'll feel stronger. A quarter from what is that Dick Cole's name? Buzz Aldrin. A quarter from Buzz Aldrin had a ton of prana, right? Until you realized it was a lie. And then you saw, oh wait, this isn't, wow, this is really different. And it's, guess what? It still has prana. It's not like you now have that same quarter that he sold someone else. Said, I took this quarter of the moon. Wow, Buzz, wow. But not only that, the prana changes after the fact. It's beyond light speed, isn't it? Isn't it? It instantaneously changes the prana the moment you find out. So truth itself affects prana. And that's what takes it back to this idea that it's belief, that it all comes from us, that somehow, first of all, drop special relativity, which means now we're back at looking at the universe and honestly saying, I don't know exactly how this works. But that somehow I can imbue an object with prana, send it on its way, and 7 years in the future, something can change, and the entire prana inside that object changes simultaneously. This is real stuff, guys. It's real. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. We see what is that? 0.2% of the visual spectrum, right? I think it's something like, it's like crazy small like that. Maybe it's even less. Doesn't mean it's not there. Now, important point. Take all that I just said about prana, about charging, about how you have to have an object to hold that prana, that prana has to go somewhere, right? Think about what's happening with this. Is all of your prana getting from you to the person when you hit like on their photo? Does all of it get there? Experiment. Find your best friend in real life and go up to them and try it both ways. And try and measure the difference. Try and measure what that transaction is, how it changes. I only want you to do this so you'll understand prana more. This is the technology of belief. And it's harvestable. And you can be gelded from it and with it. I hope that answers some questions. And I'm going to keep this one short. So it's just about prana economy.